All right, we're going to analyze the 151st Kentucky Derby. It was run yesterday. It was won by the Bill Mott trained Sovereignty from Off the Pace. We put out a handicapping video right after the post positions were drawn, and one thing we talked about extensively is that there was a lot of speed in this race, and it was a race that should favor the closers, and that's really what happened here. If you look at the chart, after 6 furlongs were run, so after 3/4 of a mile, that's 60% of a race. The winner was positioned 17th. Eventual second place finisher Journalism was positioned in 11th. Third place finisher Baeza was positioned 12th. And fourth place finisher Final Gambit was positioned 19th. So after 3/4 of a mile had been run, your top 4 finishers were positioned 17th, 11th, 12th, and 19th. And clearly the race favored closers. It looked almost certainly like it had to going in. So one thing to note there is that there was a lot of speed and it was going to favor closers. Sovereignty hadn't been getting setups, in Gulfstream. He finally got one here. But with that said, we're going to watch yesterday's Kentucky Derby. All right, your eventual Kentucky Derby winner, Sovereignty, breaking from post 18. Second place finisher, Journalism, post 8. Third place finisher, Baeza, post 21. We'll run it now.
Baeza. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Kentucky Derby, and some crowding down toward the inside. Journalism has a smooth start, but he was shuffled back soon thereafter. Citizen Bull racing right to the lead, and he comes well off the rail. Citizen Bull 5 wide bias the first time. Neo Equos right there in between, racing in second. Owen Almighty on the far outside is third. An American Promise gets a coveted spot, saving ground on inside fourth. Admire Daytona is out of there, running in fifth. East Avenue from Off the Pace in 6. Burnham Squares tethered to the rail with Brian Hernandez. They're running in 7th. Chunk of Gold is 8th. Cole Battle racing mid-pack 9th. Journalism, Umberto Rispoli has him down inside 10th. They're about 10 lengths off the lead as they head to the backstretch run. Flying Mohawk is racing in 11th. Render Judgment on the far outside is 12th. Luxor Cafe is 13th. Publisher is 14th. Baeza 15th. Sovereignty 16th. Tistastic 17th. Sandman is the last of the 19 through a strong opening half in 46 1/5 seconds. Down the backstretch they go here at Churchill Downs. Citizen Bull leads the way to the far turn. Neo Equos trying to keep pace. American Promise tried to split those two, is coming under a ride. Owen Almighty advances up, grabs third. Owen Almighty's now third round the far turn. Umberto says go with Journalism. Journalism rocketing past horses. He's up to fourth on the outside, and Sovereignty's following him. Don't forget Sandman. Final Gambit goes to the far outside too. They're off the turn. Here comes Journalism. Here comes Sovereignty. And they square off, heading to the final furlong of the Kentucky Derby. Final Gambit and Baeza trying to close in late. Sovereignty has taken the lead. Journalism has to fight back. Journalism has lost the lead to Sovereignty. It's time for the Royal Blue to don some red. Sovereignty wins the Derby.
Trips in this race. I mean, it's just really no one had this dream perfect trip. Everybody had a little minor excuse somewhere at the very least. But with Sovereignty, your eventual winner here, you're going to see the 19 Chunk of Gold is going to come in, and he's going to catch the heels of Chunk of Gold. He's going to clip heels, and he's actually going to come out of the race with a cut, is what Bill Mott said. So it's pretty easy to see where he gets cut in the front. It's when Chunk of Gold comes over on him at the break. Besides that, not a whole lot of trouble. He had to go wide. He opted for that long, sustained wide move, which usually means clear, but you're losing ground. So Sovereignty got the pace that he's desperately wanted. It didn't have like some pristine, picture perfect trip, but didn't, considering the flow of the race and favor and closers, had a good enough trip. Journalism away from the gates here. You're going to see Burnham Square come over on him. He's going to get rank a little when that mud starts to hit him. I don't think he appreciated that mud in his face too much, but he settled in. It was really only a couple strides where he was rank and climbing from the mud. Professional enough horse to, once it hit him, it bothered him just a little bit, but he ran through it, overcame it, did fine. Baeza, the 21, runs third. You're going to see Flavian Pratt is going to, rather than go real wide, he's going to try to save what ground he can save. And, maybe he had to wait a little bit longer, and he had a horse. American Promise was kind of stopping, but he did look like he got out of that before it became a jam. So Baeza run really nice. And then Final Gambit run fourth. He has Citizen Bull come over. Now, we can't see a head-on in this race, but I suspect Citizen Bull got clear of Final Gambit right away. Final Gambit's just not quick at all. I think I posted something on Twitter saying, he's going to be back so far early that, the track announcers might not give him a call in the race. And I think you see the track announcer said Sandman was last of all. He didn't even see Final Gambit early because Final Gambit was way back there like he figured to be. But, he made a nice long sustained run to come on for fourth. And Owen Almighty, the 21 Owen Almighty runs fifth. He turned in probably the most surprisingly good performance of anyone in the race. He was out there stalking the fast pace, always had his face clean. He didn't get behind horses, didn't take mud, but he absolutely had to love the wet track. I mean, he's a Speightstown. Speightstowns generally love the wet track. He had some wet track pedigree, but man, did he run good. And I think his trainer really wanted to run in the Pate Mile, and had they ran him in the Pate Mile, there's no doubt he'd have won the Pate Mile. But it worked out for Javier because Javier won the Pate Mile at 12-1 on a horse that had some real nice Florida for him, and so he got to ride the Pate Mile winner anyway, and he got to have the lead turning for home here on Owen Almighty. So, with all that said, we'll watch the race, and the sixth place finisher Burnham Square, you're going to see he really had sixth place finisher Burnham Square probably had the most trouble of anyone. Admire Daytona flat out stopped right in front of him on the rail. And he had a dead horse, a horse that finished last, beaten 55 lengths, stopped right in front of him. And it was like a quarter mile before he could get out into the clear. And then by that point, I mean, the bird had flown and he was just trying to weave his way through, ended up sixth. So we'll watch it now.
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby.
Here's where the squeeze happens to Sovereignty. He ends up Chunk of Gold and Loveberry come over. He sustains a cut. And this is where Burnham Square is coming over on journalism here. Final Gambit already got it looked like he got squeezed back, but he just may have been outfooted. Flat out, Citizen Bull may already had a length on him, 3 jumps out of the gate, but
and some crowding down toward the inside. Journalism has a smooth start, but he was shuffled back soon thereafter.
So this is where journalism starts getting rank a little. He starts taking mud in his face, and Rispoli gets after him a little bit just because I think Rispoli thought he was going to be closer than he was, and you heard the connections say they thought they were going to be on the first flight. They were never going to be on the first flight in this race.
Citizen Bull racing right to the lead, and he comes well off the rail. Citizen Bull 5 wide bias the first time. Neo Equos right there in between, racing in second. Owen Almighty on the far outside is third. And American Promise gets a coveted spot, saving ground on inside fourth. Admire Daytona is out of there, running in fifth. East Avenue from off the pace in sixth. Burnham Squares tethered to the rail with Brian Hernandez there running.
For Burnham Square, we're going to see here, he's the 9. He's set up inside. This horse, Admire Daytona, is going to stop right in front of him. You see Burnham Square, who's a closer, just got taken way back right there. He's got this horse stopping in front of him. It's just going to force him at a key point in the race when he should be going forward. He's just in reverse through the pack trying to get outside of the horse that's stopping. He's finally outside here. And at this point, the bird has flown. Hernandez is going to knife his way through there, but he doesn't do any better than sixth anyway. But you do kind of have to wonder about what might have been there if, sometimes the inside opens up, you could drive a semi-truck through it, and then other times, you got a 45-1 shot stop into a walk right in front of you. So Burnham Square there, who was sixth, did have an excuse, although Hernandez kind of tried to ride the same race he did last year with Mystic Dan on him. Get first run on the closers with a horse that can finish. And you roll the dice. Sometimes it comes up box cars, and sometimes it comes up snake eyes, and it came up snake eyes for Hernandez. As far as a horse out of this race that might interest me for the Preakness, I think East Avenue is a little interesting. He was behind horses, taking mud, got rank, didn't really quit. I mean, he stayed on to finish eighth. Didn't look like he did a whole lot of running, but he was a horse that I thought would be a pace casualty for sure. Needed the lead. There was too much speed in there. Then when he didn't get the lead, he starts taking kickback. He's hating the kickback and rank. He's a horse that if he gets in the Preakness and there's not a lot of pace and he's able to go to the front and just control things on the front end, I could see him going all the way around there and winning it. Now, if Sovereignty goes into the Preakness, though, East Avenue is also owned by Godolphin, so I don't think they'd want to run, a horse in there that could take away the prospects of a Triple Crown if they do end up running Sovereignty in there. So, but East Avenue, you watch him here. This is not an East Avenue likes to be on the lead going nice and easy. And he's back here getting mud in his face, horses inside, outside of him, rank. He's pulling the rider's arms right out of the saddle. He wants to go up and engage. And he's wide, too, into the first turn. I mean, he's 3-4 wide. He's, right tracking Owen Almighty. Now, at least Owen Almighty's got a clean face here. East Avenue is taking this kickback on top of being wide up near a fast pace and in a position that he hates. He wants to be in front. So if you get a Preakness without a lot of pace in it, East Avenue in there and is able to control things on the front, he'll shock you. I think he'll run he's a sneaky horse for the Preakness right now if they decide to go and if there's not a lot of other early speed in the race. Derby, Sovereignty the winner. Journalism second. Baeza got in off the also eligible list to run third. And Final Gambit, he ran better than I thought he would to be fourth. And Owen Almighty ran better than I thought he would to be fifth. We did have Sovereignty, so this was from our handicapping analysis here. If you want me to do 1, 2, 3, 4 in this race, I'll put Sovereignty first. Sovereignty winning the race. I hope Journalism's just a little too close to the pace and Sovereignty can come over the top of him in the stretch and catch him, that last eighth. But Sovereignty first, Journalism second. And then it's just about looking for a price to finish third or fourth. And I'll put Burnham Square. But for the Preakness, watch East Avenue. East Avenue here, if he gets into the race and there's not a lot of speed, I think he's a very, very dangerous horse on the front end in the Preakness. Hopefully he goes in and a lot of other speed doesn't go with him. But that is my early thought after reviewing the Derby as far as a horse that would interest me in the Preakness, East Avenue. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you had a great Derby. Thanks for watching, everyone.